Honestly, in the year of our Lord, 2005, it's hard to believe that there are people still out there selling courses on how to have a relationship. But here we are. That's right, I'm selling a course on how to date. I've dated before and I've dated well. Seriously though, I got an ad this morning for
how to get 1 to 2 women per week.
And naturally my first question was how to get 1 to 2 women per week to do what? I had to find out. That's how I discovered John Anthony Lifestyle. When I was writing the script for this, John Anthony is such a default name that I kept forgetting what his name was. I wrote down Jason, Jackson, Andrew. Might as well all be the same thing according to my brain. So I gotta remember, it's John Anthony. Okay, I think I got it. Anyways, Jason Andrews is a dating coach kind of person, but it's interesting here. It goes a little bit deeper than you would think. Anthony seems to be a critic of those fit and fresh guys that are horrible. Those guys are horrible, which made me stop for a second and think maybe this guy is a better dating coach. Maybe he's trying to counter the alpha male misogyny with some real advice for men who have trouble with their social lives, how to create meaningful, impactful relationships, and how friendships should be the building blocks of a relationship. And maybe encouraging men to not objectify women.
4 keys to take her home on the first night. Super beta Myron is a fake alpha.
Oh God, he's bashing misogynistic Myron because he's not being alpha enough. That's a good sign. Alpha, of course, in the manosphere, alpha means being a misogynist and being a bad person. So damn, if he's not alpha enough, I don't know what the hell we're about to experience. So in this video, Jackson lays out how Myron isn't actually an alpha. He's in fact a beta impersonating an alpha. And to prove this, he body shames Myron's ex-wife. And then this is basically what goes down, right? It's an episode of the Moldy and Unwell podcast.
Take your headphones, get up.
Let's take several seats, guys. It's okay.
This girl laughs at Myron. He decides to kick her off the show, tell her to get out because she looked at him wrong. I'm not really sure how CEO Lifestyle feels about the whole situation. Maybe he'll let us know in this quarter's letter to investors.
Guy that doesn't know what the he's doing. Okay, I don't know how this is the internet here. In most fields, this wouldn't be able to fly.
Jim Andrews does not like what's going on here. And I salute you, Jim, for that. Me neither. No good is what I say. But it's fascinating because it's not that Myron is being mean to this woman.
And that when people disrespect you, especially women, you can't let that shit slide, bro. Like I was like, you know what?
I'm saying, I'm not doing it. No, facts, bro.
It's more that he's not doing it well.
Whoever took a lesson about that being a boundary, that was about the weakest boundarying I've ever seen in my life.
He's not doing it efficiently enough? You know what? Let's back up a bit. Let's find out a little more about Jordan himself. This guy's big thing that he puts all over the place is that he's hooked up with over 1,000 women.
By June of 2012, I had slept with over 100 different women.
And he's put it on a chart. If you don't believe him, look at the chart. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of partners. It's the fact that women are just another number to him to add to this chart that he keeps. I don't need to explain this, right? You understand what's going on here. You understand this is weird. I also think bragging about this kind of thing is sad. It's like somebody bragging about how much money or some superficial thing they have. It kind of reveals a deep insecurity that you feel like you're inadequate. So in order to make yourself feel better, you have to flaunt the things you have. If you have relationships with thousands of people, you must be doing something correctly, right? He must be doing this very consensually. Everybody has an understanding of what kind of relationship it is. There's no misleading or gaslighting women only to use them. That's not happening, right? How to date multiple girls without them finding out about each other. I have Banana Boy here. He is going to provide us emotional support, okay? In this video, Joshua goes through the method to the madness, right? This is the method, and he divulges it right here in this video. Apparently, the first step is lead acquisitions.
So it all starts up here with the lead acquisition at the top.
Is that the wrong video? Do I have like a marketing course pulled up here? No? Are we recruiting people into like a pyramid scheme or something? Okay, so you got the online game, night game, day game, streets, malls, and grocery stores?
Oh my goodness!
Grocery stores?
Squidward!
No. Babe, I remember when I met you at Whole Foods. You were buying celery. Sometimes you meet people in weird places. It happens, and it's great when it does. But don't go to the grocery store with the intent to meet people. Nobody wants that. You don't really see people dressing up in their Sunday's best to go to the grocery store. Some quick ones here that I found pretty interesting. So in this video, Jonah Anderson talks about if love is real, which is great because I don't know, I guess I've always wondered. Something that I found just really interesting, and remember this, keep it in your mind because it's going to come up later. He frequently alludes to girls not cutting it because they're not attractive enough.
A lot of you watching have been with the wrong girl, a girl that didn't cut it either with her physical looks and or her internal traits.
And how a man shouldn't settle.
You will live with tons of regret. Okay, if you're with a wife or a girlfriend that's average and that's not hot, ask yourself this question: do you want to be hot chicks? Okay, the answer should be yes, unless you're gay. So if there was a situation where I took, say, like a girl that was a 9 out of a 10 home from a club.
He ranks women on a number scale. What year is it? I don't think it's ever been okay to minimize a person, their unique personality, into a number value. I know this happens still, and I don't know what you're thinking. And like also, there's a million reasons why you might not vibe with somebody. That's your prerogative, right? But if the reason you're not interested in somebody is their body or how their face looks, big yikes on that one. This other video, which I could only get 30 seconds through it, he's making fun of this other pickup artist who also sucks, who's not a good guy either. But he makes fun of him by saying that he's gay. What's wrong with him? Well, he likes men. Isn't that something? It's sad to me how often you'll find jokes, even by very well-liked people. It's kind of buried in there a little bit, but the joke is just somebody's gay. Check back in 100 years, I guess. We're going deeper. This video was very shocking to me and very surprising. Jeremy did a video reacting to a Curtis Connor video. Curtis Connor did this video on a creepy pickup artist, and Jim Anthony, he comes in and he wants to react to it because he's in the dating scene.
A lot of the pickup community and the seduction community gets a bad rep due to a lot of weirdos.
He starts this video off really strong. He says dating advice doesn't need to be creepy. It doesn't need to be misogynistic.
It doesn't need to be weird and creepy and misogynistic. Okay, a lot of these guys that misrepresent the space are total clowns. Okay, that's why it gets a bad rep from the outside.
How self-aware, right? But then watch this. It's a little subtle. He pauses the video and he's like, listen.
But before we jump into this reaction, if you are struggling with getting matches on Tinder, with knowing what to text, etc., jump on a free 30-minute call. We'll solve all those problems for you extremely quickly. We're getting guys on track to do 50 to 100 new girls a year, getting them to their rotation. And
if you're having trouble objectifying women and using them for your own purposes, well, ring the bell icon. Not a minute later, the pickup artist that Curtis Connor is talking about brings up this idea of manipulating the women that you're with into thinking that you guys might have some kind of long-term relationship.
But when the mayors come to you eventually, they go, well, where's this going?
But this is just like cringe.
Curtis thinks that's bad.
Do I need to say anything? I feel like this whole video could just be a montage of his videos and then just a photo of me going like...
But it's so weird here because Jim Anthony agrees with Curtis's video. But whenever Curtis disavows something that John Anderson does, John Anderson stops the reaction video for a second and says, this pickup artist is doing that wrong, okay? Curtis is talking about the bad way to be a misogynist. I'm a misogynist in the correct way. Curtis being brought up is actually a really good segue here because Jaden Lifestyle made a video with this guy who you might recognize. It's a podcast. Obviously, it's a podcast, right? You guys, when I was like 9 years old, I had a podcast. It was about turtles, okay? It was my first foray into the internet. Podcasting back then was such a nice, clean, wholesome time. What the hell has happened? I watched a lot of this podcast episode. It was bizarre. I was in a public space as I was listening to it, and I kept catching myself looking around. I felt as if I should be in incognito mode. But it was very interesting because the video starts off in a way I was not expecting. Everyone here hates those moldy and unwell guys.
And there's also panders to a lot of guys who are like not successful with women and bitter and whatever, and just kind of perpetuates that. So that's kind of how it started.
They say that Fit and Fresh cultivates this idea of disliking women, of hating women, and how that's wrong. And I was shocked. Okay. It was as if Trumpy got on stage and was like, I, Donald Trump, have been doing a voice this whole time. My entire candidacy was a satirical commentary on the state of celebrity. And I was like, where is this going? But then they continue on to saying, listen, you guys, you shouldn't be hating women, all right? You should be using them and manipulating them and treating them like objects. I guess it's fascinating to hear about how the manosphere has infighting. These people who pride themselves on these strange ideals, very strict and gross ideas of what it is to be a man, and a very regressive approach to gender roles.
You are breakable. You are possessing beta characteristics. You look like you are too likable. Until you fix that, none of the techniques and tactics that I teach will work for you.
Something that really did take me aback, though, was the criticism of Fit and Fresh, because when this group of guys think you're being a man incorrectly, my goodness! Another thing which I've known about for a long time is how common references to the Matrix are in these alpha male misogynist cult. Red pill and blue pill, these references to the Matrix are very ironic in nature, considering the Matrix was created by two trans women. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but the Matrix is not an allegory for unplugging yourself from being a beta male. One last thing. I was looking at this web page where you can sign up to be a part of this course. I don't know how it works. I'll let you know after I finish the course. It's only 8 weeks, so I'll keep you guys updated. But there's all these testimonials from people who have had success with this method, all right? Then I discovered the picture for Jason here is joe.png, and the picture for Andrew is nico.png, and on, etc., which implies these testimonials are probably not real. Honestly, the last 6 hours of my life exploring this has been a living hell. My YouTube recommendations I would not wish upon anyone. I guess if you enjoyed this video, let me know, and maybe I'll make more. And don't objectify women.